babes of Baywatch, it's time to dust off your starter jackets, rip off those tearaways and blow into your game cartridges. I'm Sam Blanford.
I'm Pat Sellers.
And I'm Simon Blanford, and we wish it was the 90s.
Welcome back, dear listeners, to the third instalment of Cringe Factor. It's becoming a bit of a theme, actually. Simon and Pat are the Cringe Factor regulars. Glad to be here with you two. It wouldn't be a Cringe Factor without the king of cringe, David, the Hoff, Hasselhoff. So, as always, stop what you're doing, click the link in the description, or just search YouTube, David Hasselhoff, Hooked on a Feeling. The particular video we're talking about is uploaded by Oscarson. It's got 15 million views on YouTube, and we can see why.
It's about to go up though after people listen to this podcast. Right up.
Yeah, it's getting another bump here.
There's a couple of Hooked on a Feeling David Hasselhoff videos, I think, but none.
This is the first one that pops up if you're searching for it. I think it might be the first two actually are this one, and then there's at least one other one.
None more cringeworthy than this one. First of all, Pat, initial thoughts. I guess we'll preface this. We talked about it in our music videos episode, as this was one of the highest on the top 20 music videos, most ridiculous from the 90s, and we thought we'd leave it for Cringe Factor. What stood out to you, Pat? Cringy, hilarious, both, 90s worthy? What do you reckon?
Well, don't want to give away the rating too much for later on the scale to cringe to hilarious, but it's got a lot on. It kind of struck me as someone making the most bizarre travel ad of all time. A lot of stories just popping up in a whole bunch of different destinations, mostly flying, sometimes dancing, sometimes surfing on a motorbike. But potentially the best parts are when they just flash back to him kind of doing a normal David Hasselhoff video when he's just dancing in that street.
No, there's one part. So majority of it's on a green screen, but there's
a lot of green screen. It's like they've just discovered how to use the green screen and they're using it as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too many of the YouTube comments, but one of them was pretty much said, this is an example of I have a friend who can do the video and it's cheaper.
That's probably the best description for this music video, if that's what this is meant to be.
One of the scenes that keeps cutting back to is him on a boat. That's definitely not green screen.
No, that looks like some kind of cruise, like an Alaskan cruise or something.
I think he's definitely on the boat, but I'm still not convinced the background is not green screen. He's definitely on the boat, but the background still may be green screen, but it's not quite as like chitty bang bang obvious that it's green screen. So it might still be green screen, but I'm not sure.
I reckon if they're in a destination like that, they would still sub in the green screen just because they've got to use it. They paid the subscription. They've got to use as much as they can.
Yeah, they have the cutting edge technology available to them.
It's unbelievable stuff.
What stood out for you, Simon?
It's just everything we love about the 90s, isn't it? Blissful lack of self-awareness. And hideous use of fades and, as you say, those special effects that have aged horribly and wonderfully at the same time. I think the amazing thing about the quote-unquote special effects is I looked up when this video was released, and I think it's like November 1997, which would make it after Californication, the video, which is real crazy, eh? Like the Californication video, obviously, it's aged, of course, but those graphics are, for 1997, pretty amazing. And then these this comes out possibly after it, and it's just the cheesiest rubbish that you ever see.
To be fair to the Hoff, I reckon his video would have cost a lot less than Californication.
Good point. Good point. Good point. What about you, Sam? What stood out for you, mate?
I was giggling a lot. I don't know whether. So I think the original Hooked on a Feeling was 1960s or something.
Blue Suede?
Yeah, by a guy called B.J. Thomas, apparently. The Hooked on a Feeling was the name of the album that he released in '97. It was the lowest selling album of his of all time. It even flopped in Germany.
Oh, that's saying something.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
I looked it up. Did it only have 3 songs on it?
Nah,
It looks like on.
I think 3 singles were released from
okay.
But it's got the guy produced it who was on Australian Idol. What's his name? Mark. I can't remember his name.
No.
Not Guy Sebastian. No, I was real confused by the entry Ugo Chaka, which reminded me a little bit of Crash Bandicoot. I don't know whether that was on the 1968 original.
Definitely on the Blue Suede one, which I thought was the original, but maybe that's not.
But there was a couple of things that really stood out to me. At the end of the wedding green screen at the start, the flying Hoff just goes skyrocketing from the champagne tower of glasses.
There's some very strange angles that he flies at. I'm not sure if they just couldn't operate the wires properly or.
That was gold. There were like those 8-year-old girls dressed as angels who kept flying around, which was real odd.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff's just all in my questions is what the fuck was this?
And the spinning of the cube at the start on his finger, that just has more scenes of Hasselhoff floating around on each space.
Yeah. I like a good green screen cube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were really experimenting with the effects at that point. They were like, this is amazing. It bears no relevance to the clip, but we've got to get it in there.
What's your favourite iteration of the Hoff? Alpine Hoff, Best Man Hoff, Safari Hoff, or Batwing Hoff? I don't know what to call the guy who's dressed in entirely black. He looks a bit like Batman.
Is Best Man Hoff? So that's the one that's kind of the normal one where he's just kind of dancing and kind of like a wedding. But at a wedding, he kind of looks like he's on the street or something.
But I've got a question about that though, because he's wearing a tux with no bow tie, and there's a wedding scene in the background, right? We all agree with that.
Yeah.
So, well, the background, the green screen. Has he just got married?
I was thinking he's the wedding singer.
He's the wedding singer.
I mean, Sam reckons he's the best man.
It's all crystal. And also, just on that note, shows you the quality of the green screen that you talked about, how he shoots out and up from was it the champagne glass tower or something?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a wedding cake that he shoots out of. So absolute quality. And just as it does he goes as on the eye, he hits up, and it appears to be like a copied and pasted image of the Hoff that shoots up as well. It's just outstanding. So we don't know if he's the best man, the wedding singer, or the person that got married. Is that right?
These are questions that they need to be asked. There needs to be an inquiry.
It can't be answered though. But I'll tell you what can be answered. You haven't given me your best Hoff. My favourite's the Alpine Hoff.
Is that the one that he's in the Sasquatch kind of suit?
Yeah, and he's got like speed dealer glasses on.
Yeah, that's also my favourite, mainly because I can't figure out if it's a bear suit or a ski suit or like just an alpine suit. Is he a bear? Is he supposed to be a bear? Because at some point he grabs a tuna and just starts eating it.
Oh, is that why he does that? I was wondering why he puts that fish in his mouth. That makes sense. He's the bear. Okay, we solved that one.
But bears don't skip. Like he's also doing like snowboarding motions with his hands. So I can't. And bears don't really do that, right? But then he puts a tuna in his mouth and sort of flaps it around with his teeth. So what is he? Is he a bear or Eddie the Eagle? What is he?
Maybe a Yeti?
Yeti?
Sasquatch?
It reminds me of Fatty Vorden on the footy show, Simon. He's like flailing something around. He puts it in his mouth jokingly.
That key with the eels.
Yeah, that's right.
My favourite Hoff, by the way, is the motorbike one, where he's sometimes surfing on the motorbike while it's going, sometimes flying above it for some reason.
And the wheel of the motorbike's not turning.
It's not important. If all the scenes behind him are moving, so don't worry about it.
I initially didn't have Safari Hoff because I wasn't sure what to call that Hoff. I had fly fishing Hoff. I thought he looked like he had like a fly coming out of his head, like he was being caught, like hooked on a feeling.
It did look like that. Yep.
You told us before the show that Africa Hoff was your favourite Hoff.
Like when Michael Jackson in Black or White does the Chiefs and Indians dance.
Why were there?
What about him jumping with the African guys?
Yeah. Is it racist? It feels racist.
It was real racist.
Actually, so he's pogo sticking with the African tribe, right?
I think you made it worse.
And then, so that's in the background, but then he's pogo sticking in the foreground as well. Like you're just doing what you're already doing in the background. Like, why are you doing the exact same actions that you're just doing in the background? We don't need to see it twice.
That background video, they've just pulled that from some kind of Hoff footage. They haven't specifically flown him there for this video. It's the point of the green screen.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. But whoever was doing like consistency on this video, quality control, really needed to do a better job. Like the African Hoff or Safari Hoff, whatever you're going to call them. You call them fly fishing Hoff, but that appears to be an African type of setting, right? But there's like just sausage dogs like grazing, like sheep, like near the river.
I took those as two different scenes. I was thinking, the fly fishing / Safari Hoff by the river, and then Africa Hoff's a different scene.
He's got a spear. Africa Hoff's got a spear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So fly fishing Hoff, that's just a random river where dogs graze and 8-year-old girl angels descend.
Yeah, you've hit on one of my key questions. Whose dogs are they? They keep popping up in the background. Quite often just by that edge of that river that they look like they're ready to be bait for crocodiles or something.
So sausage dogs, I could be reaching here, but sausage dogs, are their names actually Dachshunds?
Yeah.
Is that a German dog?
Sounds Germanish.
I like where you're going here.
That's my only grasping at straws theory. Speaking of which, why is the Hoff so beloved in Germany?
No idea.
Is it because he's so ridiculous, or is there like something that actually occurred where he became this cult hero?
I think there was something to do with the Berlin War, but no idea. Look, our German friends, hit us up in the Slacks. Let us know how Hoff reunited the East and the West and became a hero in Berlin and Germany all over. Which Kens do you think he resembles more in this video, Lance or Chris?
Oh, Chris Cairns. Absolute dead ring. Oh, young Lance, though.
I think shades of young Lance, eh?
I was going to say Chris.
Can I just very quickly tap into... I know it's about the video, but can I tap into the lyrics very quickly?
Go for it.
Absolutely. Mark Holden. That's the producer's name.
Oh, nice. At one point, he says, "Girl, you keep me thirsty for another cup of wine."
Oh,
Now, I'm no wine aficionado,
yeah. That's a
but surely the
great.
Hoff can he can afford a glass, can't he?
The blue suede version is definitely glass. So he's made a creative choice there. That's what that is.
He's so good, eh? He's so good. Keeps us guessing.
Yeah. Keeps you on toes. Made it really original with that lyric change.
Worst voice though, eh? The Hoff, pretty decent voice. Not like of all the cringe things in it, his voice is all right.
It reminded me of Tom Jones, actually, looking at him a little bit.
He does have a bit of Tom Jones about him. Both very likable.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a real egomaniac, though, eh? Like, it's a love song because he's always saying girl and stuff. And at no point do we actually see an adult woman in the clip.
They couldn't pay extras.
Yeah, exactly. Often he's singing about some girl, and it's not only are there no adult women, it's just like two Hoffs singing with each other.
This kind of seems like if COVID had happened in the 90s, this is the kind of video that you'd expect to be coming out. Like he's just made this in his garage with a green screen.
I'm just thinking equivalent now. So Baywatch was probably a little bit, like the peak of Baywatch was a bit before 97, right? Like just a little bit before then. But it was one of the biggest shows on TV. Just imagine, I don't know, what's a big show recently? Game of Thrones, like the character that played Jon Snow releasing like a music video like this. That's why we love the 90s. It just wouldn't happen anymore. People were just too self-aware, and that's what we love about the 90s and this video clip. People just had bad advice and just did this sort of stuff, even though it's awful.
And fantastic.
And fantastic.
We have to talk about what the fuck is this thing? The alien or monster bug-eyed person that just shows up maybe 2 or 3 times during this video clip and just bobs along the bottom of the screen.
So creepy.
Any ideas of what or why?
Definitely. Someone definitely was dared to put him in the video. That's the only thing I can think of.
So Hoff's just taking the piss out of his own video.
I thought it was the person saying "Ooga chugga."
Yeah, good. Solved another one.
Pretty confident with that. Pretty confident that's the Ooga chugga guy.
He could be. He looks like he would do a good Ooga chugga.
Hey, I know we delved into the YouTube comments not last time, the first ever Cringe Factor. I've got a couple here. I don't know about yourselves. Matt, do you have one in particular that stood out to you?
I've just had a scan of them just before this, and I think it's the third or fourth one. If you go and check this one out, a slice of hot chalky milk has really summed this up well. This isn't green screen. The Hoff was just so powerful at the time. Reality refused to function around him. That was pretty good.
Simon, yeah.
Sam, you give us one. I've got a few.
The at Exy Death director.
Oh, yeah, that was one of mine.
David Hasselhoff. How much effects do you want? David Hasselhoff. Yes.
That is so good. And again, this self-awareness is still going on because B.E. Coverdale 8726 says, seemingly with a straight face, always loved this song. Both the Blue Suede version and this version, and I'm glad they left the Ooga Chugga chorus in there. That gives the song unique sing-along character. This video might be the strangest, yet funniest video I've seen in a while, but it also makes you feel happy after watching it. That's why I dig it.
It's a good rap.
That was almost serious.
That's what I mean. It's like there's all these hilarious comments, and this person is deadly serious. They just the technical choice of keeping Ooga Chugga in there was great for them.
Yeah, like Gordon Snell, 6735. David is so talented. He can really sing, and he is good too. Oh, jeez.
I reckon big stanky 2037. I want this played at my funeral. The video, not the song.
I've got one more that I definitely thought was really funny from Vermontius. If you look sorry. If you look really closely, it's actually a green screen. He's not actually doing a lot of the things he seems to be doing.
Yeah, that's good. That's the best one.
Last one, Javier Hiruyo Hossa, 1980. You can't edit a music video on Paint. David Hasselhoff. Hold my beer.
We've got to rank it.
Let's rank it.
Yeah, we need to give it a cringe factor out of 10 or a 0 to Michael Barrymore. Pat, yours please.
I watched this a few times beforehand, which probably give you a couple of clues of where I'm going to put this. I ended up just finding this way too funny rather than cringe. Like if you're really saying like the pinnacle of what you're looking for is Michael Barrymore, that original song of his, I reckon I'm only going to be about a 5. And it's not that like everyone should go watch this. This is a hilarious video. But I'm going to give this a 5. I reckon this is going to be one of the less like pure cringe sort of videos. I wasn't watching going, fuck, I can't watch this. I was like, cue this up again. What was that monster doing? Why are there dogs? I've got to go back and watch it again. Whereas Barrymore, I almost struggled to watch that 90-second video in one go.
Yeah, fair rationale.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm going even lower, Pat. If it wasn't for the pogo sticking scene, this might be a 1. But because of that scene, it has to go a bit higher. Because, yeah, as you say, with Barrymore, there's the poor old remission who are just, battling away. And Tally Bingo, there's the poor contestants who have to deal with the bad jokes. Whereas in this one, there's not, everyone's just having a great time. And as wonderfully terrible as it is, I'm only going to give it a 3 on the cringe factor.
You like that you said everyone there. You mean that? Are you counting all the different variations of Hoff as different people? And otherwise, there's like 2 people in this, and one of them's an alien.
Those sausage dogs having a great time. Those girl angels, they're just happy to be on camera.
Yeah, I think probably your comments, Pat, maybe bring mine down maybe a touch. The pogo sticking in Africa, the prepubescent girls flying in the sky while he's singing "Hooked on a Feeling." Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It is really cringe at the same time being really funny. Yeah, but not as bad as Michael Barrymore. That is the peak of cringe.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out our previous cringe factors, particularly Barrymore, the inaugural cringe factor, please do. And if you also have any one thing that's certainly not cringe, Accountants Plus. Accountants Plus. I mean, you want something that is the complete opposite to cringe: smooth, professional, efficient. Accountants Plus for your accounting needs.
Yeah, nice, Si. Jace at Accountants Plus will cover your needs in that area. A link in the description is there. Anything else on the video clip, guys?
I was just going to say, I don't want to give him too low a score because I don't want to rule out further Hoff content in the future. I'm sure he's got something else up his sleeve. I haven't done the research on it yet, but you don't want to give him so low that you're like, nah, Hoff's too cool to be in Cringe. I think he can do both because he can do it all.
Yeah, I agree. And on that, I have to go and pour myself another cup of wine. Cheers, guys.